solidarity question. What is for you culture of solidarity in these times and how we can produce it? Well, solidarity for me is a question of energy and empowerment. Today we realize we are interconnected by breathing same air or by touching same surfaces. This is a newly embodied knowledge for a large number of people all over the world, which is quite an interesting phenomenon for life arts. However, interconnectedness is not yet solidarity, because solidarity needs to be produced. In dance, we produce solidarity with gatherings. Like-minded people gather and see that there are many. And because we are rather small and precarious communities all over the world, international gatherings like big festivals, platforms, conferences play really an important role here. Now, if we travel less now, that might be a challenge. We really should keep all our international connections online, keep them inspirational and informative. However, we also may focus on a different kind of solidarity, which is local and which is gradually enlarged through difference and diversity. Second, knowledge question. What knowledge we produce in culture and art now? How we should produce and distribute the knowledge? To think art making as knowledge making is a postmodern tradition. So all kinds of knowledge and all ways to produce it had been already discussed. However, this distribution question is still very problematic. In dance, we discuss art practices and art productions. When we talk about art practices, usually we draw a lot of cross-disciplinary knowledge from politics, economy, ecology, therapy, now even more so, from all those spheres essential to society at the moment. This heavily theoretical and cross-disciplinary knowledge circulates mainly within dance community. And I really want to bring it up that for now it remains disproportionate to the simplest practices artists are invited to distribute back to the spheres of politics, economy, ecology, therapy, etc. Then, when we discuss works of art, we can also rely on another knowledge, which is medium specific. The one who had ever witnessed a dancer's feedback session knows what I mean. This culture of attention, this culture of sensitivity to materiality and to what is at hand, that endless inventiveness of descriptive language, how we grasp movement in words. And as art criticism, public art criticism is shrinking, this beautiful knowledge unfortunately also remains only within dance community. 2 words on curating. When curating large festival or dance venue, one makes decisions as if anticipating art practices and social practices of the future. So there is a lot of knowledge going on there. My own curatorial experience is more related with production residencies. That's why probably I'm so drawn to the idea that art produces and distributes not only knowledge, not only epistemology, but also and mainly ontology. This new something that artists materialize into being. Post-crisis production question. What we learn from the crisis, can we develop different post-crisis modes and conditions of art and cultural production, which will allow basic sustainability and reduce the precarious position of cultural workers and artists? What we learned from the crisis. Here in Moscow, the crisis is far from being over, so it's too early for real learning. And what we discuss now as crisis lessons, all that we actually knew quite well before. And so crisis is another strong argument in those previous discussions. What we discuss now as creative solutions, to me, is too early an answer to the question that we don't fully know yet. We don't know where we will end up, actually. So I hesitate to speculate here. However, I'm interested in two things in relation to dance production and sustainability. One is timing. Like, how far do we plan? How long it takes to make a production? What time we expect this production to last? On one hand, supporting this sustainability, we advocate for longer cycles of support and more ecological producing in terms of pace and durability. On the other hand, we might be concerned with accessibility because not many artists will get those long contracts. And immediacy, like how can I do things that are important for me now or next week or this month? Those questions are crucial to art making, which is a specific kind of production. Professionalism is another thing, like who are the artists? What is expected of them and by whom? In Moscow, where we barely have any resources for new dance, independent artists sustain themselves, combining careers in several fields, to the extent that they can be considered amateurs. And I'm super interested in this term, amateur, at the moment. To me, they are more interesting than our professional companies at the moment. And it is not because true art needs no money. It is because of their complex identities, complex experiences, and their attitude. So yes, here I bring up accessibility and immediacy again. 4. Social state question. Does COVID-19 crisis brings forward the idea of social equality, social states, and maybe universal basic income, how that can be reflected in culture and arts? I say yes to social state. I say yes to social equality, because otherwise this same crisis can easily bring forward ideas that are exactly the opposite. I think this turning point should be very clear in arts and culture, so that society at large could really reflect on that. 5. Policy question. What political and policy approaches you would foresee for future in contemporary performing art field, or how it should be changed? To me, this question follows the previous, and I say, let's see how the situation will unfold, and let's develop strategies that are adequate to that together. And this way or another, I'm sure, art will go on, because it's too meaningful for us as human beings.